We have forgotten God. We have actually ejected God. We have thrown him out of our churches, out of our homes, out of our countries. We have told him, we don't want what you want. We don't want what you want to give us. We don't want your gifts. We don't want your presence. Get out. In fact, I would much rather resort to following my passions than following your will. This is what modern man has said. This is the creed of the 21st century. Death to God. Crucify him. That is what we say. That is what our society says, after all. Yet, our society, thanks to its enlightened nature, its, how should I say, its open-mindedness, its free-thinking capability, our society is dying. Our civilization is crumbling. We are at the verge, at that very moment, during the Pax Romana, actually a little bit later than that, but at that very moment in the Roman Empire, in which all things were stable, but there was a scent of instability in the air. There's that feeling that we're teetering. We're teetering on this edge. And we can go back. We can go back to solid foundation, going back to firm rock. But we've kicked out the rock. We've already jumped. And so that feeling is, I'm not sure if you ever seen a Roadrunner, but when the coyote runs over the cliff, he kind of just stands there. He kind of just doesn't fall down, doesn't go back. He just kind of floats there for a moment, and then he just drops like a rock. It's actually exactly where we are. I mean, just look at the statistics. Our society has no fathers. We've told the fathers, we don't need you. And at the same time, we've told young men, you can have sex with whoever you want as long as you wear a condom. You can do whatever you want. Just follow your passions. But don't accept your responsibility. We've told young women that you will be happier in the cubicle than rather with your children. We've told our priests, well, not really us, but the clerics, the prelate, the hierarchy, has told priests, you will be the psychologist in the field. Salvation, souls, heaven, hell doesn't exist. It's all constructs. All you have to do is treat people and feed them this pop of psychology, and everything will be fine. Because that's Jesus. Our bishops have told us, don't worry about the things of the next world. Don't worry about that. Just focus up on the poor. Focus on the poor. Focus on the poor as the median household income continues to drop. Focus on the poor, right? Focus on that. Right? And when I mean it continues to drop, I mean in the fact that, well, we have lots of single mothers, right? And that number continues to grow. Single mothers, or just when you're with one parent, you have less money than you do when you have two parents. That's just math. Anyway, but hey, forget about that. It doesn't matter. Screw the family. Screw God. That's what we say in the 21st century. We love to champion as social justice warriors. We love to say, Me Too, hashtag Me Too, sexual assault is bad. But we do nothing about the sexual assault that takes place in every single home, in the hearts of every young man, in the hearts of every young woman, through pornography. We do nothing. We do nothing. We celebrate it. We say, yeah, that's a milestone. Good job. That's a rite of passage. And yet we campaign with vagina hats. and we say hashtag Me Too. What is this? I mean, there's a double standard. I mean, we've lost. I laugh to keep from crying, to be quite frank, but we've lost the sense of, what do you say? What do you call it? Reality. We've lost it. We've lost any sense of right and wrong, and because of that, we've chose wrong every single time. And you know why? Do you know why? Well, it has to do with the fact that if we were to choose right, we would be choosing God. But we can't do that now, can we? No, we can't have God. We can't have truth. We can't have justice. We can't have any of that. No, no, no. That's bad. We need to follow our own will, our own passion, because that always, always leads to green pastures. No, it doesn't. It leads to the slaughterhouse. Just look at history. Just look at it, right? Look at the Greeks. Look at the Romans. Look at every civilization. What happens? Right? Even the pagan civilizations, what happens? What happens is they all start off with an understanding of tradition. They have a set of values. And every generation, or at least a couple generations after that, do their absolute best to maintain those values, to keep that tradition alive. Because they understand, because their fathers, the men who built that civilization, taught them the importance of these values. But then those men died. Right? And so you have like a game of telephone here, in which the first generation tries to communicate to the next generations the truths of the civilization, what the civilization is built upon, but over time the message is lost. Right? It's the same thing that's happened here in the Christian West, or what was once the Christian West. The moment that we kicked out Christ, then it really no longer was Christian, now was it? But that's exactly what's happened. Every civilization goes through this. They reject the values, they reject the traditions, and at that moment, that very moment in which they reject values, they reject traditions, they accept the exact opposite. And by doing so, by accepting vice, how should I say, innovations, at that moment, they've swallowed rat poisoning, they've swallowed the Kool-Aid, they've chugged it all down. That's exactly what's happening now. So, ladies and gentlemen, what are we to do? What hope is there for us? What hope is there for man in the 21st century? The Catholic Church. Why? Why the Catholic Church? Well, for several reasons. The biggest reason being that it is only the Catholic Church which has, first of all, the experience in these times of chaos. The Catholic Church has survived every chaotic moment in the past 2,000 years. And mind you, the past 2,000 years have been the most turbulent years in human history. Fall of the Roman Empire, fall of medieval times, you have the Crusades, you have the Enlightenment, you have the French Revolution, you have the Communists, you have every major genocide, every major revolution has occurred within the past 1,000 years. And the Church has survived. It has thrived. But the reason why the Church has this experience, or the ability as to why it was able to survive, to thrive in chaos, and to rebuild itself from the ashes, is because it stuck to its traditions. It stuck to the Catholic faith. What I mean by the Catholic faith, I mean the faith that was handed down by the apostles. And we too can have this faith, because it has not been lost. The game of telephone is, I mean, the message is clear. It is clear. We know what the early church believed. We know what the church teaches. We just have to execute it. And then in the first place we have to execute it is within ourselves, within our families. And that is the first step that's necessary if we are to rebuild our civilization.